without his faithfulness in me, I don't know if I could be up here right now. But a lot of amazing things have been happening. I'm trying to add some context to it. I'm recently looking for a new job and going away from what we've been used to, and I started praying to the Lord to actually open up doors for me and open up where I should go, if I should stick with the job I have now or go into a new avenue. And doors started opening. I started getting a commercial fishing job. I met with this guy that owns a ranch, and I started working with him, and I was going to do this fence bid, and I got the bid. I got a new fence job coming up, and I go home super excited, and I seemed to misplace this folder of mine. It was a metal folder, and it had, for the first week away from the machine shop, all the checks that I ended up making for that first week I was gone. And needless to say, I was walking around the house stressed. I couldn't find it.
You needed that money.
I needed it to pay the bills, pay rent, and just to make things happen. We were already nervous about this transition for the whole family to make this. And so I was stressed out. I'm going through my truck, I'm going through everything. It's not there. I texted the client back about the fence thing. He's like, I'll get back to you. I just for sure it's in the backyard. So he gets back to me about 8:30 at night. It's not there. So my wife's putting my youngest son to bed. I just jumped in my truck.
How did you feel at that point?
I felt like I messed everything up. I felt through my irresponsibility, and hold on. I was like, uh-oh. This is serious. When you start having kids, and what you're going to be able to find out, you'll do anything for them. Well, I'll go hundreds of miles away to work at places. I'll work 20 hours a day. I'll do whatever it takes to make sure my kids are provided for. And all that money was just gone. So it was just, I hopped in my truck, I got a headlamp on, I drove around, trying to find where this binder was at. I went past the house a couple of times. I couldn't find it. It was like 10 o'clock at night. So I went back home and needless to say, I couldn't sleep. Just tossing and turning in bed, and I went outside and had this prayer with the Lord. I'm like, Lord, I keep trying to fix this. I keep trying to make this better, and it's not working. And this is all in your hands. This is all, I know you're going to figure this out for us. So the next day I went to work for the guy that owns a ranch, and I told him the story. I'm like, you're going to have to cancel your checks or something. It's just gone. And he's like, well, let's go find it. Let's go to the guy's place. Let's look for it. I'm like, no, it's already figured out. I'm here to work. Let's work. So about 4 hours later, he gets this call. He's like, yeah, Matt Giese. I'm standing right next to him. And it ended up being a neighbor that was down the street that was walking by the house and did a fence bid, and he found my binder.
Wow.
So praise God, I was super stoked. So we hopped in the truck together, and we go to meet this guy, and he's asking me, what's in the binder? I'm like, okay, there's a blue notebook, there's these checks, and then there's also a piece of paper that says Jesus' farm promises, and had a bunch of quotes from the Bible on it. And so I get there, and he's reading through all these Bible verses. So I'm like, well, praise God, he put you in that right position to find this binder. And I told him how great God is and what God's doing in my life, and gave him a big old hug. And with the ranch guy, we hand him a business card, and we take off down the road. We get a call about a couple minutes later. He's calling us back because I didn't realize you guys trim trees. So we back to his house. We get a job out of the deal to trim a tree the next day. And then on the way back to the ranch, I'm telling this guy how good God is, and how I told him that all this was figured out, and I had this calmness about it the next day, and it all worked out. So I ended up witnessing to the guy I got a job from, to the ranch guy, and I got more income for my family, and all the checks were there, and everything was great.
So as you were telling me that story, you were saying, man, I wish that my first reaction hadn't been to run around like, where's my folder, but first to go to God and then do whatever he tells you to do.
I would have just knelt and prayed from the beginning and trusted in him.
Peace.
I would have had peace and wouldn't have had all this anxiety, and just understood that he is in control.
So then last week, you remember that I announced that we were going to have a work bee. It was going to be really late at night.
No.
And what did you hear?
I never heard it.
Did I say 6 a.m. or 6 p.m.? We need a witness.
You said something about beating the heat. I'm pretty sure.
I did say beat the heat.
Yeah.
Right? And Matt heard 6 a.m.
Yeah.
I thought I said 6 p.m.
You did.
Right? So Sunday morning, you hop in your truck,
at 5 in the morning.
and at this point, you've learned that you can rely on God, right?
Amen.
And so
So
what
I
happens?
pop up out and get in my truck, and it was 6 or 5:30, 5:45. I was going to be close, so I'm coming around the corner.
And we'll put up a
there's
picture of what you saw.
a massive tree down on the road, totally blocking the road.
Can't really drive
There's
that.
no way in, there's no way out. So I start walking around and start knocking on the people's doors that live in the area, and I don't think they were super excited Sunday morning. It was 6 good morning. Hello. But he got up and he thankfully put some clothes on and then brought his truck out. I'm out there with a handsaw cutting little limbs, and he brought his bigger truck out and we started pulling stuff away just so we can have a way to get through. In about 10 minutes of doing that, a guy pulls up behind me, and he owns the Family Tree Service. He's got 5 chainsaws in the back of his truck, and he hands me a chainsaw, and we just start going for it. So we start cutting limbs, and we're clearing the road, and we're talking with the landowners too about how this is all going to get figured out. And I start hearing something, and I'm like, hold on, Bob, turn your chainsaw off. We look up, and there's the second part of this tree is cracking right before us, and it's about twice as big as this tree here. So he's like, oh no, I gotta go talk to the landowner, I gotta get more tools, this is gonna get really bad, can you wait here? And so I'm waiting there, and a guy comes pulling up to go fishing in the morning, and I'm like, you gotta get going, this tree's gonna fall right now. So about a minute after he takes off, this big tree right in front of me just falls down in front of the road.
Wow.
And it is just a mess. And so we just, okay, well, he comes back, we get more chainsaws, we fill up, and we just keep cutting away and cutting away. And as we're cutting, this limb is still falling towards us. And cars are pulling up either side, neighbors are getting out and pulling limbs aside. And all of a sudden, one of our neighbors comes with an excavator and a grapple hook and starts grabbing, like out of nowhere, starts grabbing onto the limbs so it wouldn't fall on us. And so, okay, we keep cutting, we keep doing our thing, getting the road cleared. And the whole time, this guy at the Family Tree Service, Bob, he's just praising me. He's like, wow, you're such a great hard worker. You're such, everything, you're getting all this done and working hard, and you were here since 5:30 in the morning trying to make this all happen. And I'm like, Rob, this is what it's all about. This is about community and family and friends just getting together, helping each other out, and just overexcited with the fact that everybody was able to help each other out.
So what ended up happening?
We got the tree cleared, and Bob comes up to me, and he, wanted to pay me for my hours, and
You got paid for volunteering to
just to help out. And then he also gave me his business card. And he said, whenever you need work, whenever, please, if it's 1 or 2 days a week, I got, work for you. So just give me a call.
Wow.
Isn't God good?
Yeah.
That's so awesome. Thank you for sharing that story.